Let's show you tonight against the lowly Pittsburgh Pirates, and I'll show you the graphic. Player of the game, Chipper, 3 for 4. He had a double and a third-inning dinger. Chipper is just, if I have to go to war, I want Chipper Jones in a foxhole with me. And you can bring Michael Tucker along, too. He had another home run tonight. Braves win 10-2. They outscore the Bucks 27-6 in the last 3 games. Greg Maddux is your winning pitcher tonight. And I guess I can't get on you for not going to see the Green Jackets. I mean, you've only got 10 more straight games for them at the friendly confines of Lake Olmsted to take them in on this mega homestand. There's the kid who said, I want to be on TV, and then I had to chase him. He wouldn't let me see his face. I don't know who he is, but tonight he's watching, and he's awfully embarrassed. Against the Sand Gnats of Savannah tonight, this would be in the first inning, and a Jacket at third. They got an RBI to tie the game up at 1-1. And then, I like fundamental baseball. The Sand Gnats go ahead 2-1 on this play, but watch Aaron France. Notice the runner hung up, and they make the tag. I like that, but the Jackets lose tonight 4-2. Just 7 hits by our guys tonight. They'll do better, I promise, I hope, tomorrow night. I don't mean to beat a dead horse, but I'm really sad about Tubby Smith leaving Georgia. I've not met many coaches who were as honest, kind, and yet successful as Coach Smith. He was officially unveiled as new Kentucky coach today.
And it is a privilege and an honor to be the head coach at the University of Kentucky. It's been a dream of mine to be to coach here.
Tubby said 2 of his sons will attend Kentucky and maybe play ball. As for Gigi, a senior to be at Georgia, he's not sure. Larry Bird's going to give it a shot, and if he's successful in Indiana, he'll be one of the first former NBA greats to find success on the sidelines. Get this, the Pacers flew Bird in on their jet today, then had a limo take him through downtown to Market Square Arena. The man is royalty.
Everybody always ask me why you want to do this, and my answer is, well, I've always been very competitive. I've been laying around for 5 years. I found out that 35, it's too young to retire. I love the NBA. I like the competition. I like everything about it. And this is one way I can get right in the middle of it.
And the funny twist to all of this, the Pacers passed on drafting Bird out of college in 1978. And the rest, as they say, is history. Wayne Gretzky is a hockey star, but he loves basketball, and he loves his Knicks. Knicks against the Heat tonight, Game 4 of the playoffs. Pat Ewing saw the opening and took it, and it takes him a while to get back up, but when he does, he's fine. Allen Houston from the outside now. The challenge in the D, shoots over it. And then the lunger from Allen Houston. Houston, we've got no problem. Let me show you that the Knicks are up 3-1 in that best of 7. That game, Los Angeles and Utah, is early gone. Jazz are up 3-1 in that. You have to believe me when I tell you that I rarely watch pro wrestling, but I learned years ago it makes for great television. This is WWF tonight, and this is The Undertaker. And this guy was just beating the tar out of The Undertaker, and then The Undertaker turns the tables. Oh, boy, what do you call that? The head bash? The head bash? What the heck? No, I got to show you one more play. One more play, Alan. Come on. In back. This is our late night light. This is high school softball in Iowa. Ooh. Now you know why I had to show it to you. Of course she caught the ball. Here's the replay.
Oh my God.
As I tell you that North Augusta softball won tonight. Midland Valley and North Augusta baseball were winners as well. Say more about those.
That was
an
an amazing catch.
All right, thank you, Paul.
Now, Channel 12 Sports. Here's Paul Davis.
Hi, folks. Welcome back to Lake Olmsted Stadium. The Green Jackets playing again. It's their second of an extended 11-game homestand. It's a 2 for Tuesday night as far as the beverages go. Also, they've got the team trivia on tap, so it's a great night to come watch minor league baseball. You have got to meet and listen to this fella here. This is Scott May, who a couple of years ago, 1990, was involved in a horrific car accident down in Florida. He is from Bradenton as a backup catcher for the Green Jackets. Tell the folks at home, Scott, how close you were to playing for God's team.
I was on deck. I was on deck. I was on deck, yeah, so.
I'm sitting here laughing, but it was a pretty serious deal.
Yes, it was. I was involved in a single car accident. I was speeding a little bit, and I flipped the car over like 6 times, and I was in a coma for 17 days, and in pretty rough shape.
Doctors gave you no chance of recovery.
Zero.
You noticed that Scott stutters quite a bit, and you were telling me it's from the trach that you had to deal with for many, many days.
Yes, I did. Actually, I've been stuttering now for 6 years. I'm kind of getting used to it. So it's, I don't know.
Let's talk about the interesting story now. You're near death, and your sister, and you don't remember this, but she played a major role in your unbelievable recovery.
I guess so. Yeah, I was lying there in a coma, and my sister put a baseball in my hand, and I guess I turned it how you're supposed to throw a ball. And then from there on, I guess they knew I was in there, and I was going to be all right.
You were out of the hospital almost 2 months. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Tell me about a new attitude towards life. Are you a different guy, Scott?
Oh yeah, yes I am. In high school I was kind of wild and crazy, but ever since the accident I've really toned down a lot, and I live one day at a time.
I heard your story today on the telephone by way of the Augusta Green Jackets, and I got tears in my eyes. It's good to see you here battling back, and let's hope within a couple of months we can talk about Scott May, the starting catcher for the Jackets.
Sounds good. Sounds real good.
All right, Scott May, I'll let you get back to pregame activities. Let's talk about the Braves. They won last night over the Pirates 10-2. I want to show you a play in which Maddox strikes out Al Martin, and he didn't like the calls the ump were giving him, and he had a little bit too much to say, and the ump said, "That's it. I'm not taking anything off of you." Al Martin was ejected. The Braves and the Marlins tonight. Game 5 of the NBA playoffs tonight for the Hawks and the Bulls. Of course, Atlanta must win to keep the series going. Also in the NBA, the Trailblazers have hired Mike Dunleavy as their brand new head coach. Before I'm done, a couple of late night leftovers. I'm going to show you the Orioles last night, and Roberto Alomar at second somehow is able to flip to Mike Bordick. They did get the force out at second base, but that is just a wonderful effort from the man we've come to know as the Spitter. How about Garrett Anderson robbing Frank Thomas of a would-be home run against the Baggie in left? There is one more look, and who knows, come out to Green Jacket Stadium tonight, you may see a play like that. Richard Laurie, I'm going to go get myself a pizza. Back to you.
Batter up, Paul. Thank you very much.
Plane.
It's a great idea, unless it's
That
your
guy's
luggage.
got 4 of my bags.
Yeah.
I
You
know
better
what you
go
mean.
claim them. You can buy them back, Bob.
Yeah, but who would want to wear Bob Smith underwear?
You're right.
Man,
There's some fans out there that really might want it. They might be relics.
I doubt it very seriously. Final forecast before we run out of time here. Mostly sunny, a beautiful day tomorrow, 72 at 10, 81 at 1 o'clock, at 4 o'clock, up to 83 with a high of 84. Couldn't be a better day. Get out and enjoy it.
Sounds
underwear
good.
and all.
My underwear.
Yeah, well, you never know, Bob. You do have a lot of fans out there.
Paisley went out in 1950. Hey, listen, we had the Green Jackets back in town, second night, another loss. We got to get the guys winning again.
What can we do?
Well, I'll tell you, you can come out to the Time to Care program on Friday evening, sponsored by this television station, #1 in this area, time and time again. They are cutting hair at a $5 cost.
You're
on
looking
Friday
at me
night.
like you think I need a haircut.
I think your hair looks rather nice these days, now that you let it go back to its natural color. But Time to Care on Friday night at Channel 12 will be there, and we'll be live at 6.
Man, don't you hate it, Bob, when we have a lot of time left over?
Yeah, Bash Bob night.
Paul jumps on hard.
That's all our time. Thanks for watching. Letterman is next, and his guests are Andy Garcia, George Foreman, and Travis Tritt.
If you're up early, Channel
12 Sports. Here's Paul Davis.
Now hear this. This New York Yankees story is not about the team's pompous owner, rather the men on the field who wear pinstripes and get paid mucho dinero to play ball. Today against the Twins, Frank Rodriguez, where is he throwing that thing to? Tom Kelly says, it's just a little high. See if you can't bring it down. Close game. You got to play hard in close games. The wipeout of the potential double play there. Let me show you the final. Paul O'Neill's game-winning home run powered the Yankees today over the Twinkies. How about the Dodgers and the Cubs? Not sure how LA won this game because their defense left lots to be desired at third base today. But Pedro Martinez settled down the strikeout of Ryan Sandberg there. Here's your final 6-4. The Cubbies fall. Denny Nagel tries to make it 7 straight wins as the Braves host the second-place Marlins tonight at Turner Field. And the Green Jackets want me to pass this along. The hot dogs are already on the grill. They've got a game with Savannah at 7:05. At 5 o'clock, I showed you the best times to fish in the morning. In the next several days, here are your after-dinner best times. You get a 2-hour window of opportunity on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. This, my friends, in relationship to the lunar tables, which tells us what the moon's doing to the fishing in our great world. At this point in the show, I'd like you all to remove your hats and for a moment think solemn thoughts on the Atlanta Hawks.
Okay, enough.
Enough. Now to the lowlights. They saw their season end last night to the Chicago Bulls. What can you say? The Hawks were able to win that one game, and it really woke, I think, the Bulls up. And as a matter of fact, the Hawks even feel like they've now made the Bulls playoff ready.
I'm certainly sure that their intensity level will be up from here on out every time they touch the floor. And knowing that they have to go out and work to get it done. They can't just show up.
The Bulls now await the survivor of the Knicks-Heat series. That's if they don't kill each other first. And I'm talking about Dennis Rodman causing problems on this team. The human tattoo ejected again last night. That's 11 technicals in 8 playoff games. They were asking Michael about Rodman after the ball game regarding a potential present he might give him.
Did I get him a birthday present? I don't think I can. I don't know what he would want on his birthday. And if so, I don't think I can go in the store and get it where he wants it.
Hey, Michael, maybe you should give him a dress. And before I go, look at the new commercial out for a local, not for a local, but a national Coca-Cola chain. I can't mention the drink, but a lot of great folks in this new commercial. Shaq's in there. You saw Jeff Gordon. There's there's Deion Sanders. And from the looks of the outtakes that I've gotten a hold of, it looks like it's going to be just a really neat commercial coming to the airwaves and a television set in your home soon.
We'll be watching.
Yeah.
Thanks, Paul.
Now, Channel 12 Sports. Here's Paul Davis.
Folks, 2 hours ago, I wrote some real nice things to get into my top story tonight, and I want to forget all that and say this. It is with deep regret that I bring you highlights of Game 5, Knicks, and the Heat tonight in the NBA playoffs. Why is, I'm going to show you John Thompson. You know, why is John Thompson frowning? Because this was a physical and ugly game. Oakley and Mourning. Oakley is tossed. Later, P.J. Brown picks up Charlie Ward and throws him into the photographers, and this looks like WWF, all the different sanctioning bodies wrapped up into one. Took about 5, 6, 7 minutes to clear things at courtside. In the end, though, the war is won by Miami. Expect suspensions coming down. Miami won it. Here are what some of the folks said afterwards.
You know, somebody told me it's not football, it's basketball.
I don't know what's going to happen. They'll take a look at the tape. I just know that, you know, the reason why it got so out of hand is that everybody from the Knicks bench came and you couldn't get to the combatants.
The Knicks are still up 3-2 in that best of 7. I'm not so sure why either team wants to win this series because waiting in the wings are the Bulls. All right, let's get to baseball. This is not a sci-fi character. It's the Marlins catcher. That is a strange-looking headgear. Late going, Braves are down 4-3, trying to rally, and Jim Eisenreich says, not tonight. Later, the Marlins trying to pad their lead, and Kenny Lofton dives and makes the catch. Last of the 9th now, tying and winning runs aboard. And darn if Fred McGriff doesn't ground out to end the game. It's a 2-game sweep for Florida. They're back now just 3 games in the standings. Yikes. We've checked with the Psychic Network. Tonight, just the beginning of something big, we hope, for the Jackets. A victory over Savannah, we hope, the first of many to come the rest of the first half. Let's just say that there was a guy that was awfully thirsty, having all kinds of things to drink tonight, and this would be in the 8th inning. It's 1-1, and the Jackets got 2 straight walks for the go-ahead and insurance runs. Sandnats had a couple aboard in the 9th, and David Daniels bore down. The sidearm got 2 strikeouts, got it done. Augusta wins tonight 3-1. Jacket pitchers combined on a 3-hitter. When Lachlan McClain showed up at a Williston Elko playoff game tonight, they treated him like he was a king. Yelled one fan, "You're the first TV station to show up all year long." What was special about tonight? Lower State single A semifinals against Latta. and moms and dads as far as the eye could see trying to get sight of this game. And the Blue Devils' Lacey Williams is robbed of a base hit there. In the 7th, though, Devils are up 2-1, but the bases are jammed for Latta and pitcher Tony Harris. Oh boy, there's a drive to right, tying runs at third, and the young man uses his head. He stays put. 2 outs now, bases still loaded, and Harris blows them down. Here is your final 2-1 Wilson Elko. They play Lakeview on Friday for Coach Barry Fogel. That could be a problem.
So certainly a little family rivalry come Friday night, huh?
Yeah, my wife graduated from Lakeview, and my brother-in-law's off and on the past 2 or 3 years helped out with the team, so it's going home for her, and hopefully she'll be pulling for us. If not, I have to kick her out the house.
He can't be serious, but his team is serious about winning again. They were doing wind sprints after tonight's game. Other games to bring you up to speed on tonight. Baseball, Midland Valley over Daniel, 7-6. North Augusta will play for the Upper State Championship on Friday. They beat Dorman 9-6 tonight. And in softball, sad news. Lexington ends North Augusta season 3-1. The Lady Jackets will call it a wrap at 21-5. Late night lights, I want to show you in Baltimore. And they've started a new thing up there in conjunction with the Preakness, a bullfrog hop. And this little lady, she did everything but kiss this frog to get it to leap. And we don't have the time tonight to show you. Eventually, the bullfrog will take that leap of faith. Watch, she's just get down there and say, "Come on!" Not sure who won the contest today, but I can tell you one thing: that little lady's frog did not.
The right hand's got to be hurting tonight.
After a while, she's got to say, "What do you need? A couple of $1 million contract to do that jump?"
Right.
All right, Paul. Thanks.
Maybe he needed a lap around the gym to warm him up.
Channel 12 Sports. Here's Paul Davis.
This is Paul Davis with you on First at 5, and tonight's sports from Putt Putt Martinez, and I have run into the National Putt Putt Player of the Year. His name is Danny Dorr. And Danny, it turns out, is from my hometown of Baltimore, and he went to my rival high school, Cardinal Gibbons. Yep. I went to Mount St. Joe, just down the road from each other. I have to wish you luck this weekend, even though usually I wouldn't be rooting for a guy from Gibbons.
No, you wouldn't. St. Joe's a big rival, basketball and football. I remember those years back in the 70s when I went there. But
you've had a heck of a career in putt-putt, Player of the Year a season ago.
It all come together last year. I've been playing about 20 years, but last year was my best year.
How did you get started from all the way from Cardinal Gibbons High School in Baltimore?
When I was a teenager, I worked at the one on Route 40. Remember that?
Yeah.
And worked there, got to start playing some tournaments, and got good. Got the late 70s, turned pro, and going ever since.
Mucho dinero you won a season ago. Give us an idea, how lucrative a tour is it, and how much money can you make if you had the kind of a season that you had last year?
Well, I won about 15 grand overall. You're not going to make a living at it, but
no,
you can do well. You're going to do well. It's better than a hobby. We were on ESPN May 9th at 2:30. I won $6,500 on a film show in Orlando, so that was the best day I ever had.
The field this weekend, what would you tell the viewers at home watching tonight? Is it worth their while to come out to, Friday and Saturday?
Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday and Sunday?
Oh, yeah. You want to see some good action? You want to see a lot of hole-in-ones? Come on down.
Danny, before I let you go, is it true that every putt-putt golf course and every hole is designed for a hole-in-one?
Sure. You can make them all. You got the right attitude.
Most consecutive holes in one you've ever had?
13.
13?
Yeah.
Best score you ever had, 18 holes. Of course, if you had a hole-in-one on each hole, it'd be a score of an 18,
It's
right?
only been done twice, but I've shot a 20 before.
Well, good luck to you this weekend.
Thanks.
We thank you for taking the time to join us. And even though you went to the rival high school, I'll be pulling for the Bowlemorian this weekend.
Good for the Orioles, too, will you?
Go Birds. All right, that'll do it for First at 5. Let's throw it back to you folks.
Now, Channel 12 Sports. Here's Paul Davis.
Hi, everybody. It's good to be back. And just in case you missed the top of the show, the Georgia State games are coming to Augusta. This is huge news. The local powers that be have been trying since 1991 to bring the event to our neck of the woods. A presentation today over in Atlanta by the Sports Council, Convention and Visitors Bureau, and the Rec Department got the job done. What am I talking about? The Georgia State games for amateurs, folks like me and Richard and even Bob Smith, if you can get the Ben Gay. In July of '99, we've got it in 4 different counties of Columbia, McDuffie, Richmond, and Burke. 10,000 plus athletes. About 3.5 goes into our local economy. You can always use that. So a job well done by our team in Atlanta today. Let's move on to high school baseball. What a day at Greenbrier. The Wolfpack hosting Swainsboro in the Region 3 AAA playoffs. Greenbrier won the first of a best-of-3 on Monday. You have to see the crowd, and I'm working the camera, and I said, I've got to take back to the station a good look at the crowd they've got today, and you can put some mayo, mustard, ketchup, and even a tomato on mine if you don't mind. Bottom of the second, it's 2-zip Greenbrier, and that is a wild pitch. Runner advances to third, so they're rallying again. He scores on a sac fly to make it 3-zip, and then James Shanks, the infield hit, so he's aboard. And then Patrick Jones sends one up through the middle. He actually gets to second, so we got runners at second and third, and up comes the future Georgia Bulldog, Mark Thornhill. It's a boot by the shortstop. That ends the scoring for Greenbrier at 4-zip. They win at 4-1. The Wolfpack moves on to the next round. They'll get either Westside or Burke County starting on Tuesday. Willie Anderson with a 3-hitter today. And fans, you were marvelous today. Let's step it up a notch. The Green Jackets still on the road tonight up in Hagerstown, Maryland. Actually, their next 8 games away from home. They're not back in town until a week from tomorrow. And the Braves have the night off. They'll start a 5-game homestand tomorrow night with the Padres of San Diego. Major kudos to Dikembe Mutombo. It figures he's been voted the NBA's Defensive Player of the Year. The big guy anchored a defense that ranked 3rd in the league. He ranked 2nd in block shots, 2nd in rebounding. He is a player. Did you hear about former Georgia Bulldog Lars Tate? He's in serious but stable condition tonight out in Indianapolis. He was shot Tuesday morning while trying to break up a domestic dispute. Doctors repaired a ruptured neck artery. It looks like he is going to survive. He's going to make it. What a tough time I had getting the sports show ready today. I couldn't help but watch Tiger on Oprah. Hopefully you saw it here on 12. His dad was on too. They aired video clips from his days as a kid, and they were asking about his dad.
A lot of things. I disagreed with them, and then in the long run, he was right. So he was right all the time, and I was wrong some of the time.
I think he even was a little spunky kid back then. I'll have more at 11 on Tiger Woods, and if any other stations in the market do air that videotape, we're calling the police.
Oh, thanks, Paul.
All right, Paul.
Now, Channel 12 Sports. Here's Paul Davis.
Has Rick Pitino really been at Kentucky 8 years? It seems like just yesterday that he was leaving the NBA's Knicks after a so-so tour of duty in the Big Apple. He wanted the laid-back college experience. Well, after one national title and a couple of near misses, he's on the move again. $70 million will do that.
But I say it every senior night, you don't say goodbye when you play at Kentucky or coach at Kentucky, you just say hello. And for me, that's what it's all about. And Kentucky will always be in my heart.
Coach refused to talk about the specifics of his contract with Red Auerbach and the Celtics, not until Thursday. He did say he's going to a program full of glory and pride, which is what he's leaving. If it's true that we never get a second chance to make a good first impression, then Jeff Ward really blew it today at the Indy Speedway. Just 4 drivers on the track in what they call Indy Orientation Day for rookies. They had some rain, so they only got 4 guys out there, but he's just putting along in his multi-billion-dollar car, and he loses it. And at the high speeds for these fellas, when you lose it, you've lost it. He is A-OK, but probably getting an earful from his owner right now. Indy qualifying starts on Saturday. It got away from me. It got away from me. With the way pro hockey is taking root here in the South, it's only a matter of time before we get it here in Augusta. I believe that. And this is file tape of the NHL's Hartford Whalers. They've surprised the hockey world by choosing Raleigh as their new home. They want to leave Connecticut now. They're not sure if that'll be able to happen as soon as they want.
So in the worst case, we would still play one more year in Hartford and then come to Greensboro the year after that. All right, the league just, and I agree totally, want to make sure that we comply with every legal requirement we have.
Again, the Whalers' game plan is to play the next 2 seasons in Greensboro and then move to a brand new arena. They also want to change their name too, the Carolina Hurricanes, and I like it. Pete Meadows and his GISA defending champion Augusta Christian team at Lake Olmsted this morning against Westfield from Perry, Georgia, trying to manufacture some runs, and a base runner for the Lions is dead out at second base. Eddie Dodger, the fans saying, come on you guys, we can get some runs. Well, Eddie Dodger won this game on the hill, goes to 8-1. Augusta Christian got 3 in the 7th to pull it out. They'll play Southland of Americas tonight at 9 at Lake Olmsted. Mike Mordecai will start at the hot corner tonight as the Braves take on the Cardinals again in St. Louis. Chipper Jones will probably sit out till Friday after a groin injury last night. Tonight's first pitch at 8:05 with John Smoltz on the hill. Somebody do a victory dance for the Green Jackets. They'll take a 4-game losing skid into Columbus tonight. Augusta has actually lost 9 of their last 10 games. At Coors Field today, let's just say the air was thinner than thin. Todd Hundley with 2 aboard, a 3-run banana, 4-0 Mets, but the Rockies, well, they got Anders Galarraga. This is a seeing eye base hit that scores not 1, but also 2. Stay up, stay up. In the 7th, Rockies are up. What is that, 21 runs so far in this game. Before I'm done, late night leftovers. This is Reggie Smith and Ray Knight. They're arguing. What's interesting here is Smith is the first base coach for the Dodgers. Knight is the manager for the Reds. You rarely see folks in those capacities, and then you can see that bench is clear. There's Reggie saying, hey, make love, not war. He doesn't want to get any of this problems with Reggie Smith, and I can happily report that cooler heads prevail.
It's good to see the umpires not in the middle of that one.
Yeah, no kidding. They just don't ordinarily fight, is that what you're saying?
Well, usually it's a player and another player, but usually you don't see a manager jawing at the first base coach. Usually they know each other rather well.
He's stealing my signals, something like that.
It could have been, or he's probably riding a base runner. And they're probably old buddies from way back, but last night they were the worst of enemies.
Thanks,
okay,
Paul.
Now, Channel 12 Sports. Here's Paul Davis.
Did you hear about the Hawks tonight? I'm telling you, folks, they had the Chicago Bulls on the ropes. Game 1 of their best of 7. All Christian Leitner in Atlanta in the first half. The putback there from the youngster. Hawks led by 16 at one point, by 11 at the break. Mookie Blaylock had 31, but in the third, Michael Jordan said, I am sick of these Hawks. He had 28 of his 34 in the quarter. Let me tell you that Chicago beat Atlanta 100-97. Game 2 on Thursday, 100. The Larry Epperly era is over at USC Aiken. The man who's run the Pacer Hoop program the last 10 years has resigned. The Pacers wrapped up their 4th straight losing season back in March. They dropped 12 of their last 17 to finish at 12-15. Epperly has been offered a job in USC Aiken's administration. I'm not sure if he'll take it. Let me show you the numbers on Epperly over the 10 years. He did win a regular season and a tournament crown in 92-93, but his tenure as the head coach is done. Taking over the Pacers on an interim basis, one of Epperly's assistants, Mike Roberts, he's been with the program 5 years. And I want to make sure that you've heard it's a done deal. Rick Pitino has said yes to cigar-smoking Red Auerbach. He's leaving Kentucky for Beantown
and
the
came
Celtics.
for a specific reason, to try and build a program in shambles to the championship level, and we've accomplished that. And it's been 8 wonderful, wonderful years.
And when you talk about possible replacements in Lexington, Georgia head coach Tubby Smith has to be at the top of anybody's list. Remember, he was an assistant at Kentucky under Pitino several years ago. At Busch Stadium tonight, it's the Cards and the Braves, and the excuse me base hit from Kenny Lofton actually gave the Braves the lead at 2-1, but well, John Smoltz was cruising, but Ron Gant parks an 8th inning 2-run homer, and St. Louis wins 4-3 over Atlanta tonight. No room for error at Greenbrier High as we talk about prep baseball. It was win or else against Henry County today in the rubber match of their best-of-3 state playoff series, and the tensions were running high. The whole season on the line, everybody on edge. Who do you call on? That is Mark Thornhill. He is headed to Georgia. I edited that natural sound. Don't you love it? It's Greenbrier, 3-2. Sorry about no scores tonight, folks. Afterwards, it was interview time.
Lord heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses.
I love a team that knows the Lord's Prayer. Terry Holder, you're doing a nice job. Another proud dad called in from the road tonight. Westside beat Heritage today 5-3 to win that series. The game was played in Conyers. And usually these bleachers are stocked with football fans. Tonight, they want to see soccer. ARC against Lakeside of Atlanta. The bigger they come, the harder they fall, though he's actually a little guy. No score into the second half. Goalie Tony Sabio, big reason why. 14 saves in the game. Lakeside, though, beats ARC 2-0 or 2-0. The Musketeers called a season at 11-8-1. Our late night lights tonight come straight from the house that the Green Jackets built. This is the jacket of Eddie Feiner. He is the man behind the king and his court, a four-man traveling softball team. That was smoke. Tonight against a crew called the CSRA All-Stars. I'm happy to report that Tommy McClellan of USC-Aiken managed a home run on that play. Eddie Feiner, his knees are all shot, but he still comes and puts on a great, great show.
Hey, Eddie, how long you been doing this?
None of your business. 52 years.
I told him not to throw that one again.
Hate to see a grown man cry. The king and his court, real ambassadors for the game of softball.
And so who won?
You know, we didn't get a report on that game.
It doesn't matter.
Not that it matters.
My money's on the king, though.
Yeah.
And his court.
They could bring that smoke into the plate with that softball.
Fast pitching.
Wow.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you, Paul.
Now, Channel 12 Sports. Here's Paul Davis.
I asked a member of the Channel 12 Sports Brain Trust how much money the Florida Marlins spent in the offseason. Alan Oken didn't know except, and I'm quoting here, it was a whole lot. Tonight hosting the Braves, and in the 10th, I love the sound effects, it's 2-2, and Javi Lopez sends one down to Bobby Bonilla, and he boots it. And so does the Marlins shortstop. Tony Graffanino scores the eventual game winner. Greg Maddux is your winning pitcher. McGriff also belts a home run. At 3Com Park, major nightmare for the Giants. The Expos scored 13 runs in the 6th. Mike Lansing had 2 home runs in the inning. He had 5 RBI. Expos 19, Giants 3. Denny McClain's life after baseball has been a real mess. He did time on racketeering and drug charges years ago. Today he was sentenced to 8 years in prison after skimming money from his company's employee pension plan. Clint Bryant will keep adding to his pension at Augusta State, but he won't have to earn his pay anymore by winning basketball games. Coach stepped down today after 9 seasons on the job. He will stay on as athletic director and special assistant to the Prez. This man's got no regrets.
One of the things that I think you can look back and see, even in years that was tough years, like this past year, you never came to a game, and if we were down 2, up 2, or down 20, up 20, you never seen us quit. Kids always played extremely hard.
ASU hasn't had a winning season in 4 years. They went 8-19 this past season. As for the Bryant years in his 9 seasons, the Jags lost 41 more than they won. The Jags played for both the Big South and the Peach Belt Conference championships, bridesmaids twice. He was also named Big South Coach of the Year in 1991. He's a great guy. I'm glad he's staying around. To the NBA playoffs, I'm sure the Knicks not only want to beat the Heat, they also like to stick it to their former head coach, Pat Riley. And Jack Nicklaus, there he is. I didn't know he liked basketball. I think he played a little at Ohio State. The Knicks were down 2 at the break, got 16 straight points in the second half. That's Patrick there. And from one Patrick to another, let me show you how this game turned out. The Knicks go up 1-0 in the series opener. And late in the, actually it's in the 4th now, Seattle's up on Houston. The Rockets are up 1-0 in the series. The Hawks and the Bulls will go again tomorrow. If the newspaper guys in the Hoosier State have their stories straight, then Larry Bird's the next head coach of the Indiana Pacers. And prep softball tonight, I'm going to show you, oh my gosh, there's a ferret on the loose at Riverview Park. Some folks thought it was a rat. North Augusta and Lexington, great D from North Augusta here. They get the lead runner there. But the bad news is Lexington wins this game, puts it on North Augusta tonight. The final score, 4-2, Lexington over the host Jackets tonight. At the Midland Valley York game, oh man, District 3 Finals, Zay Brown hit not one, but two-run homers. He's a football and a basketball star. He also likes baseball, doesn't he? With 5 more wins, the Stangs would end up state champions. They win today, 6-1. I was so impressed with the man I met this morning in Appling. Milford Scott was the star of our Big Fish report on First at 5. The former state senator has been retired 23 years and lots to show for it. He's hunted anything and everything you can think of. He's also got a wild largemouth bass trophy wall. Let's just say he is a great outdoors fanatic.
I think a lot of time God made the outdoors just particular for me because I love it. I stay in it all the time.
What he's most proud of is the quail that made it 3,500 bagged over 10 years. He also had a great story on nabbing that bear. Yikes. Before I'm done, a late night light. Watch the great call by the umpire. Scott Brocious of the A's against the Twins. He's called out. I played this thing 3 and 4 times, and he was out. But it was a great call by the umpire. And you know why he's complaining so much? The Twins beat the A's 1-0. So that would-be score there would have figured big time in the game. So
wow.
I wanted to show that because, you know, we get on the umpires so often. I had to replay the thing 3 and 4 times.
Split-second decision. He was right on top of it.
He was right.
It was the right call then.
It was.
All right, we can't wait to hear the bear story in the break.
Now, Channel 12 Sports. Here's Paul Davis.
I was all set to come out here and say, I hope they throw the book at him. Well, after further review, I think they have. Let's go back to last night in Miami. The Knicks and the Heat don't like each other one bit. You saw the major altercation. Today, 5 Knicks suspended 1 game. 3 will sit out tomorrow, 2 more on Sunday. Ewing, Ward, Houston Starks, and Larry Johnson. Miami's P.J. Brown will serve a 2-game suspension. The good news is, again, those suspensions aren't hanging in the balance. They start ASAP. That's good. Just what Tiger Woods needed, as if the month off wasn't enough to recharge his batteries. They had a 3.5-hour rain delay in Texas at the Byron Nelson Classic. You know, Woods had the month off. He was chomping at the bit to get out on the course. He did, and all eyes on his magical swing. He actually birdies the first hole, and through 7 now, he's 4 under par. The leader just off the course, though, is Tom Watson at 6 under, but there's a Tiger on the prowl. The Atlanta Falcons should have the same problem as the New Orleans Saints. Quarterbacks coming out of the woodwork. The Saints now have, Heath Hewler and Danny Werfel on the payroll. So, lost in the shuffle, veteran Jim Everett, the same starter since '94. From Big D, guess who doesn't like living in the fishbowl anymore? Michael Irvin. He's asked for a trade. No comment yet on his request to get out of Big D. I didn't get the chance to do Channel 12's exclusive Big Fish report yesterday. I got an earful from loyal viewers last night. Better late than never. Just a marvelous morning yesterday out on Clarks Hill, the South Carolina side of Thurman Lake. Me and the man I'll call the Aiken Angler got started at about 9:30. Well, Chris got there just a tad earlier than I.
And I caught one about 15 minutes before you got here, and that's what we're going to do this morning. We're going to start fishing some points with worms, which I really like to do anyway. So,
real worms or fake worms?
Rubber worms.
Good. I hate the real ones.
They're kind of ooshy, aren't they?
Chris took me to his personal honey hole, and it didn't take long to figure out why.
Oh my! It's out of the water. What do you got? It sounds like a big one.
It's a decent fish, Paul.
We came across some schooling fish. Where are we, Chris?
Well,
I better let you cut. Oh, boy. Chris Van Dyke has done it. He's no 2-pounder either, Chris, is he? He's no 2-pounder, is he?
That's a nice 3-pound fish.
Tell folks at home what happened.
Well, Paul, we was fishing this point, and
we saw all of a sudden some
fish schooling, and we just kept playing around with them, and we finally got one to bite. Nice 2.5, 3-pound fish. This is the kind of fish that'll get you well in a tournament in a hurry.
Chris is fishing a Redman regional tourney down in Birmingham this weekend. We wish him the very best of luck. If you lived in Atlanta, you might look for a baseball brave or two. Bowling tonight. They're off and start a series with the Cardinals tomorrow. And the Green Jackets tangle with the Columbus Red Sticks tonight here in town. Congrats to newly crowned state champions. These wouldn't be the state champions. This is our late night leftover, and that is one heck of a play from Pat Hinkin of the Toronto Blue Jays. Barehanded the way Richard Rogers used to do back in 5th grade. Silver Bluff is your state champion in high school track, South Carolina girls track, their first ever state championship in track, so congratulations to Silver Bluff.
Good deal. Okay. All right, Paul.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Paul.
Women at Augusta State fight back against sexual assault tonight at 11 o'clock. We'll show you what was said at their first Take Back the Night rally and how the rally is helping women take back control.